As a Notre Dame alumni, you know the college hockey game, obviously. What does Penn State's entrance into the varsity mean to you and to everybody else in the hockey world?
Well, I think everybody had eyes on them for years. I coached from '95 to 2005, and everybody had eyes on the top club programs in the country because we were one of the few growth sports. With all the different aspects of Title IX that had restricted the growth of men's sports, hockey was one of the few that was in a growth phase. And so you were always looking at the top schools that could say, where could we go or what could we do? And Penn State was always very near or at the top of the list. So to see them finally triggered is terrific.
You know Guy Godowski, his coaching style at Princeton. What do you think he brings to the program?
Well, I go back to Alaska Fairbanks, and he came in as a coach at Alaska Fairbanks when I was at Notre Dame and did a terrific job with that program and turning that around and producing players all the right way. I mean, it was hard work, but he was getting skilled players, he was recruiting well. He went and did it at Princeton, so this is, I think this is one of the top coaches in college hockey that Penn State has been able to bring in to start a program, which is, not start a program, that's not fair because, Joe did a great job for so many years and so many people did with the club program. So you're taking the program to a new level, that's a better way to put it. Not dissimilar from what happened at Notre Dame when it was a club program and came back to varsity status.
Now as an executive with the Maple Leafs, you're constantly looking at college players and talk a little bit about the difference between going through the college ranks and the junior ranks in Canada.
Well, I get asked the question more than is imaginable. Friends of mine that have kids that are at that level making those decisions. Should I go college? Should I go major? And I don't think there's a direct route for everybody. I think it is really up to the individual to look at and say, what works for me, what fits for me. And but certainly when you get a college player, you generally get a player who's at a different stage. He's not coming in at 18 years old. He's more mature. He's had a chance to be in the weight room. And I like the academic discipline. I like the off-ice part of it. The maturity part of it are all factors that come into play with an older player.
Well, first of all, I think to have Joe Batista do what he was able to do and being able to get the team to where it's at, that was a lot of hard work and not a lot of money. And he did an excellent job, I think, in being able to keep that foundation there. And then when Terry Pegula came up with the money to be able to not only build the arena, but also to have hockey as well as for the men and the women come in, I think it's outstanding because I was part of Miami when we got our program off from being a club team to varsity. And I think you can take a look now to see where Miami's at. And I think Penn State's not going to be far behind. So I think it's great for college hockey. It's also good for the people at Penn State. You're going to have another winter sport that you can hang your hat on a little bit, and to have a new facility that'll embrace not only men's and women's. It's going to be I think exciting for everybody.
Guy Godowski coming in from Princeton obviously was a huge coup as well.
Yeah, you know what he's been able to do it. What he did at Princeton, what he was able to do at Alaska. That's a lot of hard work. You've got to be able to be a pretty good salesman and to be able to have a full complement of scholarships, coaching staffs, recruiting budgets, and everything else. That's something the guy has not had in the past. Now he's got that. I think good things are going to happen.
I talked to Alan York, who played against Coach Godowski at RPI, and he said he hated playing against Princeton because of the game they brought. They're going to see that at Penn State, I think, too.
You will in the beginning. Guy was one of those guys. Guys were very responsible through the neutral zone, and I think again, when you know what your talent level is, and you have to really coach with that talent level. As time goes on, first 4 or 5 years, that's what you're going to have to do. Is you're going to have to back off, get into a trap like a one-man forecheck, not commit much, and make transition. But that's going to be a natural cause, and I know Guy, as things go on and they're able to get some talent into that program, the philosophy will begin to change. But anyway, Guy's he'll be fantastic. What he's able to do at the college level, he's one of the best.
Big Ten Hockey Conference and then the new so-called Super Conference, the National Hockey Conference. What impact do you think those are going to have on the college hockey landscape?
You know what, it was a question mark with the Big Ten. You've got your 6 teams, and I'm hoping that entices the Indianas, the Illinois, the Purdues that have club teams to be able to take that next step to be able to add more teams. The other Super Conference with Miami and North Dakota, Colorado College, etc. I think though, it seems like they're separate themselves maybe a little bit, but I think overall just having that happen, change is good. In the beginning, people really fight change, but I think for the game, I think it's going to help everybody. Teams like, the Bowling Greens, the Western Michigans, the teams that are, kind of on the limbo on where they're at in their winning and losing. I think they're going to find their own home. Fair State being another team, they'll find their own home either in the West or as a Notre Dame going possibly to the East. So I think it's only going to help the game.
The one downside is the Alabama-Huntsville situation.
Yeah, you hate to see programs lose their identity, and right now it looks like Alabama is going to be dropped down, and I don't know how they're going to handle it. I haven't read here lately, but to see them lose their Division I status is certainly disappointing.
Lastly, I think we might see you at a Penn State game perhaps when the new arena opens.
I don't think there's any question. It's going to be a couple of years from now, and I don't think there's any question. We're not that far away. Knowing that Ohio State, I played hockey at Ohio State. I coached at Miami, and anytime there's a good hockey game within 3 or 4 hours, I'll be there.